to make sure everything is working okay. I will put something into the chat and refresh, see if we are all working. Hopefully that'll come up in a minute. See if this is working as well. Do we have our chat? Yeah, no, that's good. Our chat has come up. Fantastic. Okay. Righto. Okay, well, we'll make a start then. Hi, I'm Chris, and this is my game Realm of the Empress. It's a single-player fantasy adventure board game where you explore a large open area, in this case Port Ovis, do quests, learn and upgrade a variety of skills, and buy weapons and armour and upgrade those to progress your character. There's also a main story that takes place in your dreams and should hopefully act as a kind of hook to keep you wanting to play more and sort of find out what happens. During this, in this video series, I'm going to be doing a full playthrough of the whole game. Each video should be about an hour long, and the last playthrough I did was about 60 hours in total, so we should have quite a few videos for the series. I'm streaming Monday to Thursday at 7 PM UK time every week for the next few months. So please feel free to leave any comments on any videos, or if you catch a live stream, write something in chat, and if you've got any questions, I'm happy to answer them, and any feedback would be really helpful, and it's kind of the reason why I'm doing this, so I really appreciate that. So I won't bother with a quick recap this time because we've got quite a lot of videos. Watch some of the earlier ones to find out what happens. Start of number 1 would be a suggestion. So what we've got so far is we've got 8 different quests going on this tray that I've made. Quests are little decks of cards, depending on how long they are. They're numbered A, or they're lettered A to Z. So about 26 of them, and then you just keep the whole deck in one of these trays, and you can track it that way. Yeah, due to the open nature of the game, you can have as many or as few quests going on at once at the same time that you'd like to do. It's up to you if you're the kind of player who wants to track quite a few quests at once or just want to do a couple at a time. On this tray I've got space for 10. I've also got the last place we were at and the amount of steps that we've done. So that's our 12-sided die. This is our character marker, and this is the where we left off last. So I'll just show you that. So this is the inn. I've got mini cards that are cut up to make up the map, and this is card 107. We can see that in the top left corner, and then the other numbers correspond to the map cards if you want to travel north, east, south or west, and that's how you move around. You can't move diagonally in this game. Let's put that around there. We've done 8 steps. That's our 12-sided marker. I noticed on our last video that I forgot to change our time tracker on one part of it, so I'm just going to do that now. This is also to show you what the tracker looks like. We've got time here and tracking the day and the night. We've got morality. We track a morality system here. If you want to do something like sneaking and stealing or pickpocketing, you will lose a morality for each attempt you do, and the only way of getting your morality back up again is by doing quests. We've also got a list of different skills here, so you can level them all up from 1 to 5. You always start at level 1. You can usually only unlock being able to learn a skill through a quest, so there's always an encouragement to do quests if you can. We've got the day of the week. We're on day 4 now of the first week. We've also then got our armour listed underneath there. We're going into leather armour for this playthrough. So at the moment I've got a head, body, hands, legs and feet all boar hide armour. You can level it up to bear hide and eventually wolf hide as well. So that's what we're going to aim for. So I don't know how much levelling up we're going to be doing of the boar hide armour, leather armour, because we don't want to. Well, we do get money for if you level up armor. You do get more money when you sell it, so there is an incentive to do that, and it's not discouraged necessarily not to do it, but you kind of got to think about how much time to spend on different bits of armor, or if you just want to upgrade it and then level up the better version. Wolf hide armor you can't just buy though, you have to hunt the wolves yourself and then take them to the tannery and then pay them some money and they'll do that for you. We've also got a character play mat here, again homemade cardboard. In the top left we've got our equipment, which is now fully stocked out. We've got, like I said, our whole boar hide leather gear, so we've got a hat, we've got body, legs, feet and gloves, and then we've got a bronze short sword we got from a quest, and then we bought an oak shield. We start off the game with a satchel, and that gives us all this space to keep our items in. Items are chit based, half-inch square chits, and then they can be different sizes as well. So the standard is a half-inch square, and then we've got, for example, an old fishing rod, which is a long thin one, and we've got a pickaxe and axe at the top here, which are sort of twice the size. So that's where you can keep all your items. 35 items in there. The pouch is the only thing you can access during combat, so that's where you, at the beginning, you keep your food, because that's really the main way of getting your health back. We've got our quest items kept here. We've got a dream deck. When you go to sleep you have a chance to dream, and then so we'll keep the deck there and you can go through that. We've done a few dreams in the last couple of streams. We've unlocked staying at the inn a bit early. We've paid that off already, which is good. It's 50 gold for a week or 10 gold for a day, and there are 7 days in a week, so you get a bit of money off if you pay for the whole week. So you get twice the amount of inventory space, but you can only access it on the inn map card, and you can stack up to 5 things of the same item there too, so it's a lot of storage. We've got a skiff storage, which we haven't gone into yet. We've got a weather system. It's either going to be okay or raining. Animals don't come out during the rain, so it can be good, it can not be good. We had a rainy day, is either last stream or the stream before, and that meant we could go logging in the woods without any fear, because we're a low level character and being attacked by boars and bears is pretty bad at the beginning. Also at the bottom here we've got Mayorwen's map. This is from a quest, and it's the only map in the game of the area, so that's why there's a special space for it. So it's a hand-drawn map from a partially sighted older lady, so it's not 100% accurate, but we can use this to get an idea of roughly where we want to go. So that's pretty much all the stuff we have. What we're doing at the moment, the last stream we did a few quests, and so we're just going to try to finish off one of those quests first, and then see how much time we've got to maybe start chatting to some other people, or perhaps maybe do a bit of fishing. We need a little bit of gold. We use these Chinese fortune coins as gold, so real coins, which adds a nice element, I think, rather than just having chits for it. We keep them in our actual little coin purse, so it has weight, feeling, sounds good when you've got some money in there. So we're on our map card here. We have got a quest H at the moment, which we're working on. So we've got a whole stack of them here. H is quite a long quest. I think there are 15 in total. So we're up to part 5, and so what we're doing is we're looking for a necklace for someone, and we think it might have to do with the baker, but she does have a necklace, but we don't know if it's the right one that we're looking for. So we have been told though from her previously that it was given to her by the blacksmith's son. So we're going to go down and have a chat to the blacksmith's son and see if he can shed some light on the situation, really. And yeah, so we're going to get over there. So here's our map deck. It's over 300 cards, and they're divided into groups of 50. So what we do is we'll look at which card we want next, and we're going to go west, so we want card 108. So we'll find that in our map deck. Okay, so we're going 108. Here, place it down and they will match up. Then we go south, we want 133. So I like to lay the cards down first until I need to grab another set of 50, and then move our character marker and adjust the time afterwards. Right, so we're going down here, following the path. Paths will always lead to buildings in this game, so if you ever get lost, try to find a path and that will lead you to a building. There will always be characters in the building. Also, if you're going east to west or west to east, the numbers are always going to be ascending or descending. It's only when you go north and south that there'll be a jump in the numbers. So we're going to go along here, and then we're going to go south to, we want 172. So we're going to go south here, so we need another deck. So I'll just move our character marker. So we're 8 steps so far, so it's 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. So every time you go back around to 1, that's a half an hour on your time tracker. So we move that along 1/2 hour, and then we carry on. So 172. So we're heading over to the blacksmith, trying to find the blacksmith's son, see if he can help us with this quest. So a lot of this game is doing quests. You can spend quite a long time just doing skills. There are a few mini games for doing the skills, so hopefully they're quite fun to do as well. So it's quite a casual game. There are no time limits, and there's nothing you need to really worry about. There's nothing competitive in it. So really it's just, you could spend a whole day of real time just doing some fishing if you wanted to. There we go, there's the blacksmith. Weird shot there, just about. Yeah, so you could spend a whole day just doing some skills, or you could spend a day finishing off some quests or picking up some new quests. So I'm trying to make it open, so when you play the game you've got a few different options of how you can spend your time. Yeah, that's what I like doing in the game anyway. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps. Okay, so we're at the blacksmith. So when you land on the map card, let's go a little bit across just so it's still in shot a bit more. When you land on a map card with a building on it, what you do is you find the corresponding building in the building's deck. So I'll show you how that works. It's quite straightforward. There's just a deck of cards that says buildings on them, and they've got a number on the front. So you find, we're looking for 175, and so we just go along till we find 175, and there can be more than one card for any given building. 175 is that one, and that one's also 175. Okay, so you flip them over, and then you can see who is inside the building. So here we go, we've got Galad, who's the blacksmith. We've got his house on the left, and then on the right the smithy. So Galad's in his house, and the smithy, Owen's in the smithy. That's where his son is, so that's who we want to find. The reason it's gridded is for if you want to do sneaking or stealing, you move on the grid, and you can steal from the different items that are labelled with the letters. So D for drawers, T for table, C for cabinet, that kind of thing. So we're looking for Owen, so we know he's at the smithy, so we can put those back. And then once you find the character that you want to talk to, you find them in the characters deck. So again, same as the buildings deck, it's just a deck of characters. It's a card based game, so yeah, everything's cards pretty much. So we're looking for Owen. Did we go past it the other day? Let's have a look. Owen, there he is. So we're doing quest H, so we're hoping he has H6, which he does. In fact, he's got all quest H actually. So here's what his character card looks like. All characters pretty much look the same. You've got the name at the top, you've got the quests that they're a part of. You can only start a quest at number 1. So if you got to Owen beforehand, his earliest quest on H is 6, so you wouldn't be able to start with him. Everyone's got an intimidation and a sneak level that you can intimidate them or sneak past them if you roll a die and it gets the same or higher score. He's got 15 gold on him, he's pretty lucky. So you can pickpocket characters, and then on the right the coloured in squares are for the persuasion skill, where you match up as many squares as you can to get half price on the shops that are listed at the back. And then they're separated into low cost to middle cost and high cost, depending on how many squares you match. So we're not going to do that, we're not going to buy an iron shield or anything off him, but he does have H6, so we're going to read what he has to say about this missing necklace. So we'll take H6 and we'll have a read of what he has to say when we confront him about that. So, Owen, hello, who are you? What? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Better get going before I get my pa out here to see you. So then it says take H7 if using intimidation. So his intimidation level is 1. So he's not going to listen to us, not going to talk to us unless we intimidate him. And we have learnt the intimidation skill from a previous quest. So if we got to this point, it would act as sort of like a little barrier that you'd have to then come back to. But because we've got intimidation level 1 already, it's one of the green ones at the bottom, we have got the same level of intimidation, so we can intimidate him there. So then it says take H7 if you intimidate him. So we just say we have done it. You don't have to roll or anything like that. If your number is the same or higher, then you can just use intimidation. It costs money, it costs gold to level up your intimidation. It costs the same amount of gold to level up all of your skills, and also buy extra hits for your weapon when you attack with your weapon deck. So it's always 25 gold. So you can choose which ones you want to level up first. Right, so we've intimidated him. So he says, right, all right, I saw it left on a table at the Old Lamb, that's the pub, through the window. It was easy to take, just left as it was. I didn't know whose it was, just thought it was nice is all. So I took it. All I had to do was nip in and nab it. Everyone was drinking, so they didn't even notice I was in there. Here you are. I took the anchor off so folk wouldn't know. Take quest item H7. Okay, so we've intimidated him and now he's spilled the beans, and it says to take quest item H7. So we've got again an items deck, quest items deck, which was labelled. This one at the top is B2, so we're looking for H7. So it says H6. Is this going to be a case where I've labelled it the wrong way? It might be H6. It is H6. I'm going to have to look at all these and make sure they're labelled correctly next time. Right, so this should say H7, but it's H6. It is the right one. It's the silver anchor. I'll show you what that looks like. So the necklace had 2 pendants, an anchor and a heart, and the one Eleanor, the baker, has is just the heart, and he's kept the anchor one. So he's given us the silver anchor. And that's essentially the end of that bit of the quest. So, from him, anyway. He does, I can see on his... I'm just going to put the silver anchor into the quest items bit on my character deck there. My character play mat, even. So I can see on his card that he's got H8 as well. So we can keep talking to him if we want to. Or we've got an option here, we could go straight back to someone else as well. Let's have a look what he has to say about. We'll just go straight to H8 and see what more he's got to say. So he says, my pa's sweet on Eleanor, you see, but too busy with work to do anything about it. So I thought I'd make a conversation starter, you know, give it to her as if it were a present from him. I'm always doing the rounds for him, so she'd believe me. Will you help me help him? Come back here at night, but make sure you're geared. Probably come across some of those night walkers, but I'm not scared of them. So then it says take H11 when you return at night, or if you return at night as well, really. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. So we've learned a bit of information. His dad, the blacksmith, likes the baker, Eleanor, so he thought he would try to initiate something between the two of them. So we can take H11 from him at night. So that's just H8. So there's 9 and 10 still somewhere. So I'm thinking we can go back to the bakery and maybe Eleanor will have something to say, or we go back to the pub and talk to the landlord, Alan. He might have something to say. So we can check him on the way first before we get to the bakery. So we're going to move her off there then. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 steps. So hopefully the quests, are quite open so that you can sort of make choices about where you want to go next or what you want to do next, rather than sort of being told, oh yeah, just follow this, then do that, then do this, then do that. Hopefully there's a bit of an openish kind of format where you can say, okay, well, you didn't even have to go to Owen. If you look at last stream, we'd already gotten a reward from Alan just from talking to the baker. So if you just wanted a bit of a reward and didn't care about what else was going on, you could just carry on with something else and then come back to this later if you wanted to. Anyway, we're going to check. We're at the Old Lamb. This is the pub. I know it, so we don't need to get into the buildings deck. We're going to have a look, I think, either to see if Alan or anyone else at the Old Lamb has H9, I think it is. So Alan's got H10. He does not have H9. There I can see Eleanor has H9. So she's the baker. So we're looking for H9. So we can go over to her then next. So we do 3, 4, 5, 6 steps. Okay, and then she's just a couple of more cards away to the east. So we want 106. So just looking in the top left corner, we find 106. And then we go again to 105. And let's just show you what her house looks like. Okay, so you can see these sort of bushes, big bushes or hedges around her house. If those were blocking you from moving, then you wouldn't be able to go in that direction. So bushes are barriers in this game. You can't swim and you can't climb up and down big cliffs, which hopefully should make a bit of sense. Okay, so there's a gap there, so we can walk straight to her house from here. So we go 7, 8. Okay, and we know that's the bakery, so we can just go straight to her. She's got H9, so we'll find what she has to say. So we'll keep that one out for the moment, because we still might need that to know to get H11. Right, so what does Elena have to say now that we've spoken to Owen about the whole situation? So she says, "Oh my, this is very unsettling. Please, here, take the necklace back to Isabel with my apologies. I had no idea. How embarrassing. I will need to speak to her and explain myself. Take quest item H9. Okay. So she is pretty embarrassed about the whole situation. So she's going to give us back the necklace that she has. So we're looking for H again in the quest item. I think it's going to be H8. Or, I don't know, is it going to be HH? Yes, silver necklace. So I don't know why I must have changed the quest numbers on this, that's why none of the quest items are matching up. So here we've got the silver necklace with the heart pendant on it. So this is what Eleanor was wearing. So we've got that, and we've got the silver anchor now. So we've got the whole shebang. We have essentially found the necklace, and we can go back to Alan and tell him that we've finished the quest. We're going to take both of these items over to Alan back at the pub. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Back at the pub. Find Alan again. Where is Alan? There he is. Alan's got H10, so we take H10. And we've got his wife's silver necklace, so he should be quite happy. Well now, that's it alright. It looks a little better even. I guess young Owen gave it a bit of a polish. Looks fine as new. My thanks to you, traveller. Indeed. Please take this for your trouble. So then it says lose quest items H7 and H9. So those are the two ones we've got. And the reward is 3 bottles of mead plus 20 gold. So 20 gold is quite high. Normally you just get 10 gold. So that was a bit more of a longer quest, bit more things to do, a few more things to do, so you get a bit of a better reward. And then we get the 3 bottles of mead as well. So we could sell those, or we can drink them to get a bit drunk. There is a reason for getting drunk later on. We haven't quite unlocked that yet. We'll get to that when we do. So first of all, we get rid of these quest items because we've handed those into Alan. And then that is essentially quest completed because we've got a reward, another reward from Alan. He gave us a bit of a reward before just for talking to Eleanor. So, but Owen wants us to help him out, so we could choose to help him out by going back there at night to the blacksmiths and see what else happens. Or again, it's a sort of a pause moment where you just come back to it where you want. So we leave that on top. We'll get our 3 bottles of mead and our 20 gold for now. So bottles of mead are going to be in our chits somewhere, so we'll have to have a little look through some of these. So the chit system I've got isn't the best at the moment, but you can always have, I mean, it would always, everything at the moment is a work in progress anyway. Bottle of mead, oh, that's probably going to be in the food one actually, now I come to think about it. So it's not technically a food, but I think that's where I put them in the end. Well, we'll have to have a look. We can check exactly how much we get from that as well. Pretty sure. Mead, there we go. Bottle of mead. So we can check in the rule book how much a bottle of mead goes for. I think usually items will go for half their cost. 1, 2, 3. But some, not all the time. So it's in the back of the rule book. I've got a whole list of all the sellable items. So we'll have a look at a bottle of mead. Okay, try to find it. Bottle of mead, 5 gold each. That's 15 gold plus 20. That's 35 gold if we sell the mead. So we could sell that straight back to him. I don't think we're going to get drunk now, in fact, because that's pretty much the only use for the mead. So yeah, we'll sell it back to him, and then we'll take the 20 plus 15, so 35 gold we'll take from you, Alan. So we'll put those back, go to the bank, and we'll take 35. That's going to be a lot of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 20. Let's take these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 35. That is a full coin purse. That feels good. Put that back. So I've also got a tracker for our gold. So we've already had 36. So we're adding 35 to that. So 2 35s is 70. So it's going to be 71. The maximum amount of gold you can carry is 100, or I think 99 actually with those coins. So there'll become a point where you will have to buy something instead of continuing to do quests and earning stuff, because they'll get to a point where if you keep earning gold, there's a limit to how much you can have, so you have to keep a little eye on that. So that's that quest. I'll put the characters back for now, and that quest is paused until we get to night time. We got a fair bit of gold. We got, what was it, 71? 71 gold. So we can buy some health, or we can buy some food is what I mean. Buy some food, and that regenerates our health in combat. Because at the moment, all I've got in my pouch are apples, which you can pick for free. They only give you 1 health back. And what I think we could do, we can try talking to someone else, but I think, can we sell the apples and berries? I don't think we can, because but we could. Let's have a look on the character deck again. There's Alan. Someone we give the berry. Yeah, so we can get pies made from berries and apples. So if we look here, Alan, on his shop card, we need, so for the berry pie and the mushroom, we don't have any mushrooms. Berry pie is 15 gold, and I think I've got it that you need 5 of each item to make a pie out of it, and then you have to wait a day before you can get it. So for 15 gold we could get pies, and they will restore quite a lot of health. I think there's someone who does that with apples. I think it's at the farm. I think it is Sarah. Yes, Sarah at the farm. So we don't have enough berries, but we do have 5 apples. So Sarah at the farm. Ooh. Sarah at the farm. Here's Sarah. So on her farm, she does the apple pies. Yeah, it's 5 apples and 15 gold, and she will sell that to us. Hopefully that's focusing. I'm sure. Okay, so we could do that. Or I wonder if we could just upgrade our armor to bear leather, maybe. So let's go up there and pay some money to get a pie. How much? We get quite a bit of health back from a pie. Let me just double check. 10 health we get back from that, so I think it's definitely worth doing. How many apples? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can definitely, if I move them from my pouch, we can have a look. There's a berries. There's 5 apples there. And put the berries in here. So we only got 2. We only got 1 berries actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can get. I don't know if we can get 1 more apple. Which apples did we do? Okay, so we're going to go up to the farm, and we'll pay Sarah some money to get a pie on the go. So we're going to go this way, 3, 4. And then north. If we look at the map, we want to check, we want to follow the path up here. So we want 112. So we're going to go north. And then 113's got a foraging node. We could do a bit of foraging. And then we want 68. Okay. Oh no, we don't want 68. Actually, we want to go 111. We're not going all the way up there. I realise we're not going up there. We're going along to 111. No. What 100? No, up to. I think it's up 1 and then along. Yes, let's try that out. So let's go up 69. And then hopefully from there, I think. So this is part of the adventure of the game, is the reason why you don't have a whole map. 70 is so you can do explore, and you kind of, yes, that's like the farm. So you can explore, and yeah, you can get quite lost, which I like. So 4, 5, 6, and then we came back on ourselves. 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 10 steps. 10 steps to the farm to Sarah. And we're going to give her 5 apples from my. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 apples. It costs 15 gold, so we'll pay her 15 gold. So let's put the apples away. pay her 15 gold. So how much have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. 15 gold, we'll minus that from our 71, so that's 56. I think. Okay, so now we've got that order on. What I'm going to do is get an apple pie chip to remind myself that we've got that. So we have to pick that up tomorrow. So maybe I need to have a little think about how, if you've got a lot of different orders going on at once, to remind yourself. So we've got an apple pie there. I'm going to put that by Sarah, so we know. Do that for now anyway. Okay, what are we going to do next? So we have a little think about. So that's, we've got to wait till night time to continue his. One of the other quests we've got did say we've got to wait 3 days for another quest. We've got a witch here. So quest K. We said we were looking for a sheep. He says there's a witch here. What did he say about the witchcraft? There's a witch who lives in those woods, a crafty one. He thinks they're taking a sheep. I don't mind her cunning. She's got away words, they say. He's kind of get away down here. Either way, the sheep's here, find that out. But there's more to come if you sort that witch out. Right, we're going to go find the witch in the woods. So if we go back to Merwin's map, she's somewhere in the woods to the east, which are called the Grey Woods. So we're going to go over there and have a look for her, I think, is what we're going to do. Yeah, okay. So I think we want to go over there, so we're just going to go along from here. We can make our way back down towards the inn. So we want 72. Yeah, and 73. And then we can drop down, yeah. So 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, and another half hour done. So I wanted the time to not be too punishing and not something you have to worry about really. So when you're just walking around, it does move quite slowly, but when you start doing skills or ways to earn gold, then it goes a bit quicker. We've done a bit of logging, mining and fishing so far in the series. So we're going to go south from there, 136. We might have to move our map along, we'll see how we get on. 136. So down, and when we get to the Grey Woods, so 37. And we follow this path along. Put around this side. I think we're going to need to move everything across a little bit. Put that down. Okay. So what I'll do is move our marker. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so over there, what I'm going to do is put some of these map cards back because we don't need them anymore, or at least not for a while. So we gather them up into little piles sequentially, going east to west or west to east is always going to be sequential, so it's quite easy to do. And then we're just going to put them back into the little groups of 50. So what have we got here? We've got 100 and then 69. Okay, so let's do that one first. So 69 to 73, yeah. And then hundreds. We've got 112. Then we've 128, and 172. So it does take a little bit of time to move the cards around. I should say that they do actually all fit on my table, but they don't all fit in shot of the camera. So that's why I'm doing this a bit more than I might normally do. And we can move these around because we want to get into the grey wood over to the east. So put these and readjust them over to here. So I don't think it takes that long or is that difficult to do, but it could be something that some people might not enjoy doing so much. Like I said, the pace of the game is supposed to be quite relaxed, and so pausing to move some things around, it's not supposed to be sort of immersion breaking or anything like that. So we want 1, 4, 3. There we go. So movement in the woods is twice as long as out of the woods. So here's a card on the edge of the woods. So once we pass through this, we then move twice as half the speed. Basically half the speed. Wouldn't say twice as slowly, would you? And also once we're in the woods, we will have to roll a die, an 8-sided die, to see if we have any encounters. I'm just checking here. So during the day and during the night you get different encounters. A 1 to 4 is nothing, a 5 to 6 is a rabbit, a 7 is a boar, and an 8 is a bear. So we definitely don't want to have a bear. I think we might be able to manage a boar. We've got, how much health? 31 health, and we've got berry pie and apple pie. So yeah, that's not too bad. Well, let's go south first. So we're trying to find, so the witch's hut or wherever she lives is not on the map, on Marin's map. So we have to kind of do a little bit of exploring ourselves. So let's go south a little bit. 158. Because you want to limit our time in the woods a little bit, because otherwise we will be rolling for combat. And we can always flee combat, but the enemy will always get one attack in before we get to flee, so we can still lose health through these wandering through the woods. So you do have to be a little bit cautious, but you probably can, at the very beginning you want to watch out, but we've got ourselves some armour, so we should be okay for a little bit. So I'm just kind of skirting the edge and I pop in around here and hope that we can find something. We could even do a bit of logging if we wanted to. Right, so let's just move. So 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 steps in total, and another half hour used. And again, we have to be conscious of the time a little bit, because we'll move, it'll be half the speed. Okay, so we're going to just, I guess, walk around and try to find the witch's hut and see if we can do some more with that quest. So let's go into the woods now. We want 198. Okay, so that is now going to be 2 steps into the woods. So 4, 5, 6 into the woods, and now we have to roll 1d8, an 8-sided die, for every movement that we do. I think, yeah. So we're going to roll for this, see what we get. It's a 2. A 2 is nothing. So that's okay. Where should we go next? 199. So this one does have a logging node, so we could do that. 6, 7, 8. We could do a bit of logging. Just wondering if we don't really need much money, but we could. We've gone down a little bit, so we might as well do a bit of logging, seeing as we're here. We've got our axe, So we take all of the level 1 logging cards. Can we see that? Let's say level 1 on them. So all the level 1s, and we'll see what kind of log we get. So we can just sell these for a bit of gold, but seeing as we're here, we might as well use the nodes. We get a U log, which is the worst one. It's only worth 1 gold. That's what it looks like. But that's okay. So we then shuffle that, or we'll put it randomly back in, and we'll do another shuffle if we do that again. We'll roll again on here. 3, that's okay then. We'll take our U log. So we'll go into our chips again, find all of those. So it's not that one, it's not that one. U log, there we go. I'll take the oak just in case we get lucky with some oak. U, walnut and oak are what we can get. I think we'll go north from here because we're quite south. So we'll take our U log. We've got quite a lot of inventory space, so we don't have to worry too much about that. And we'll take one of our used node icons to put over the node. Okay, let's go north. What card is that? 154. So we do that. It's 154. Okay. So that's got another node on it. So let's do the roll for encounter first. It's a 5. I think that's a rabbit. Yes. So the rabbit is another small deck of cards, and you either catch the rabbit or you don't, basically. There's the rabbit card. So we shuffle them, similar to logging, and pick one. And we catch one. So here's what the catch looks like. We get 1 raw meat. So raw meat is most useful for cooking. You can cook it by learning the cooking skill, and meat can be cooked at lots of different levels, and the better you cook a bit of meat, the more you can sell it for. We haven't learned the cooking skill yet though. We will take a bit of raw meat. So here's our raw meat. 5. It's going to be now. I keep going into the food one, but it's actually in animal meat. Right, raw meat, there it is. So raw meat and things like apples and berries and things that go off really can't be stored in your inventory. That's the one that you access at the inn, the big one. So there is a limit really to how much of like raw meat you really want to pick before you start cooking it and using it up a bit. So we did our roll, so we're going to move our 2, so that was 8, so 9, 10, and then we do our logging. So we get a U log again, which isn't great. So you don't necessarily have to take it, but it's 2 gold. You know, that will add to hopefully maybe some more. You never know. So you can drop items in this game if your inventory is filling up. You can decide, okay, we'll just get rid of some of these cheaper things. You drop them on the floor, and then there's a system of, if you want to come back and get them, how much is left, or if it's been stolen, or that kind of thing. So let's go north 147. Not in this map set. How are we doing on time? 10 minutes. Okay, that's fine. 147. Okay, 147 does not have a node on it, but we will roll. Well, so we move. That's 12 steps. Where's the 12? There it is. And then we roll. 5 again. another rabbit, or at least another chance to catch a rabbit. So again, same thing. So these mini games are less involved. It's just pick a random card for the logging in this, but the mining one is a mini game. The fishing's got quite an in-depth mini game. So there are options. Evasion. So this time we did not catch the rabbit. So that's what the evasion one looks like. So I didn't really want to make every skill be a super in-depth game you have to learn. So there are some that are simple, like this as well. I mean, that's something that would be great to get some feedback on from people. As you know, would you like an in-depth game for everything, or is it, for me personally, I'm just doing this to my taste. You know, something being simpler is good. Sometimes you're in a mood just doing simple things, and sometimes you want to get stuck into something a bit more complex. So I did notice when I took that card that the one underneath it has a building on it, so we can check out what this building is. So when you're in the woods, all the cards are covered with a kind of a grey dotted pattern. So hopefully you can see that. It's kind of a little hut. Looks like it could be a witch's hut. We're going to check it out anyway. So this is card 148. So we're going to move. So that's 1, 2. That's another half hour. Done. 7.5 hours left in a day. That's quite a lot. So again, like I said, not really something you have to worry about, which is what I wanted. Right, then we roll. 6. Is it 5 and 6? That's another rabbit. We're finding a lot of rabbits in these woods. Another thing I've said in other streams is that I think you could do some journaling with this game. I think that'd be quite a fun thing to do. So you could say, you know, went into the woods looking for a witch, but then just found millions of rabbits. Some of them escaped me, some of them didn't. That one escaped. 2 escaped, 1 didn't. Came back with some raw meat. Maybe in the next stream tomorrow we'll have a look to see if we can learn the cooking skill, and then because that'd be really useful then, because you get raw meat from all the animals you kill, and it's definitely something useful to have. Right, so we did the encounter. We've done the rabbit. There aren't any nodes here. I'm trying to think, we'd probably be quicker just going straight out to the west, so we might do some more logging after that. So we want our building card. So we want a building deck for 148. So here's our building deck again. Always a good idea to keep them in sequential order. Should be a bit easier to find. 148, there we go. Let's have a look. Hopefully it's the witch's hut. Aha, it is. Here's what the witch's hut looks like. So it's the same pretty much as most other buildings, a bit of a different shape. But we've got the witch there. Her name is a strange one. It's Sheolith. So we can talk to Sheolith and see what she has to say about all this nonsense with the sheep going missing. And she's got a lot of stuff you could steal from if you wanted to. There are repercussions to stealing things, so it's not something you really want to do. So the species that I've chosen, the Fallen Fae, they do have sneaking at the beginning, but it's mainly useful for escaping, because if you roll a 6-sided die and it's the same number or higher than the skill, the sneak level, sorry, of the creature who's either attacking you or ambushing you or something, then you can escape. Well, actually, you can't do it with ambush. Oh, yeah. So the whole point of an ambush is that you can't use your sneak skill, but every other occasion you can. Right. So we're finding Sheolith, I think. That's how we're going to pronounce it. Sheolith. I wanted her name to be quite different to all the others to show that she's not really from around this area. We'll keep that out. So here's what she looks like. Sheolith. Yeah, so she's got K4, which I think, and she's got K and R and S. She's got some coloured in squares, which means she has a shop, so we'll have a look at that in a sec. Her intimidation level is 4, her sneak is 9, so we'd have to, I mean, there's not much sneaking. She's got 67 gold, not much chance of sneaking past her. So she does the same thing with the other characters do with pies, but with poisons. So she will make a poison for you. It'll take her a day, like the other people will take a day to make a pie. But you have to bring the ingredients for each one. But she does also just sell healing tonic, which is 30 gold, which is quite a lot for a healing tonic. So I'm not entirely sure if I want to include the healing tonic as an item. But the reason why I have done it at the moment is because it does give you an option if you don't want to learn the cooking skill. You don't want to mess around with trying to cook and failing and making some good meat and making bad meat. Then I guess you can just go to her and buy some healing tonics, but they do cost a bit extra. So not wanting to do that extra effort does have a price to pay. So I quite like having the option for the moment. That's why I put it in. So we want K4. So let me get the K quest out. So this quest K, Tam the farmer had some missing sheep, and then we had a little stakeout at night a couple of streams ago, and we found out that one of the sheep, at least for that night, was sort of levitating and floating off into these woods. So Tam thought it was this lady Shilith the witch who was doing it. So we'll see what she has to say. Shilith. So I can poison and heal, stranger. Some poisons may heal, and some healing tonics may poison. The forest grants me all I need. I have no need nor desire for sheep. Do you even know how magic works, stranger? Or even that magic exists? Leave. Well, that's yeah. She's a strange lady. Not giving us much information there, but I guess now we know that magic does exist in this world. I mean, I can do a little spoiler to that. The magic in this first game is not really a main part of it until you get later on, right near the end of the game. Then it sort of comes into being. But the idea would be that other games would expand this world, and then it could expand the magic system and learning it and building your character in lots of different ways. That's the hope, anyway. But okay, so we talked to Shilith. I'm going to assume Tam at the farm has K5, so we're going to talk to him and see what he has to say. I'm hoping we can just put this over here, and then we can just walk over. There's there. I'll just move these across a little bit. I think we should be able to get to the farm. Let's move it up there. Oh, we might do some logging actually, mightn't we? So that goes there. So the farm, I think if we do a little shortcut route up here, we can do that. But first we need to get out of the woods. So we've got to move back over here. So it's 2, 3, 4. And we've got to roll for an encounter. 8! Oh dear, that's not good. That's a bear. That's a bear. Right. Okay. Let's get the bear then. That is the worst, strongest, I should say, rather than worst, the strongest animal that you can find in the woods during the day. You can only find wolves at night, so can't do that. But the bear is something we're definitely going to want to run away from. Otherwise, we'll just use up all our healing potions. I'll show you what the bear has. So first of all, every animal has a deck of cards which acts as its attack. I think all the animals at least have a missus. You've got misses in your weapon deck. Your weapon deck is made up of a starter deck to begin with, 12 in total, and then you buy the individual cards as hits to add to your deck. You can get a maximum of 24. Oh, it's got a high sneak level. I was hoping we could sneak past it. I mean, we're going to still give it a go. So here's the information card. All the enemies have one of these. So it says bear and it's an animal. It's got 40 health, sneak of 5, and then where it says end of turn 1, 2, 3, it should say end of round. So the bear or any encounter, any enemy will have a number of squares of rectangles on the back that tells you how many rounds to go through before you reshuffle all of the cards, and yours too. So this would be 3 rounds, and at the end of the 3rd round all the cards get shuffled back and you kind of start again. So there are effects for at the end of each round. So at the end of round 1, not turn 1, if the bear loses 10 health, then it does a scratch, so an extra hit. So you kind of got to make sure all of your hits don't add up to 10 by the end of round 1, for example. And the loot is some raw meat and some bear hide, but we're definitely going to flee. My combat skill is something that can turn one of my hits into an initiative. An initiative can only counter another initiative. So if the bear reveals one of those, we can convert one of our hits into one of those. So we might be able to parry or block because we've got a shield now. But let's see if we can sneak past. We need a 5 or a 6. We get a 2. Not so useful. So we probably will take a hit. It depends. Right, we're going to shuffle up the bear's cards, the bear's attack. So each round has 3 turns. It's made up of 3 turns. And that's kind of the cards you put down for each turn is what happens. And then that counts for 1 round, and then obviously at the end of the round there's an effect that could happen if the bear in this instance does a scratch or a charge attack, and then you go for 3 rounds and then you reshuffle the cards again. So we reshuffled them, and their first attack will reveal it. The animals always go first. It's a bite. It could be worse. At least it's not an initiative. It's I'll show you what it looks like. Here's our bite. Some of the cards I have done drawings for illustrations, some of them not. So it says it's a bite, it receives 6 damage. So that's doing 6 damage to me unless I can block it. So now it's my turn. Hopefully I get a shield. I've only got 2 cards for my oak shield at the moment, and it only blocks 4. But I do have a parry that blocks 2 and does 2 damage. So we take 4 cards for my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. And each weapon has a certain number of cards that you can combine together. So a shield, a short sword, you can combine 2 cards for every round. No. Every round? Yes, once per round. So I've got 2 misses. You have 4 misses in your deck, and the idea is that they become a bit less common the more cards you add to your deck. So when you have 12, then 4 misses is quite a lot, but if you build up your deck to its max at 24, then 4 misses is less likely to come up. So those 2 misses, you always have to put a card down, but we don't have to put the misses down because we're going to do a flee anyway. And we've got a block and a swing. These are the 2 cards we're going to use. And in fact, we do block 6, so we don't actually have to swing. There's no point because we don't need to do damage. So we're just going to block that 6 damage and then run away. So we were lucky with what we drew for our hand. We block all 6 damage, so we don't take anything, and then we flee. So that's how it works. We could flee. We could stay and try our luck against the bear. We'll put that randomly back in, but yeah, it would definitely do some damage to us. There's no point in doing that, I don't think. We're just going to flee away from the bear. We're lucky that we managed to block it. I'm glad we bought the shield in the last stream. Right, we're going to move again, 1, 4, 6, and we'll have to roll for an encounter again. 1, 4, 6. Just get out of the woods. Just realise we're out of time. 1, 4, 6. We could do a bit of logging with 1, 4, 6 though. So we'll move first. 4, 5, 6. We roll. It's a 6. That is a rabbit. See if we capture the rabbit. So again, randomise the cards. Capture. We do. Raw meat. 1 raw meat. Perfect. 1 raw meat. Where's our raw meat? Tap it back. There it is. I think we will try to learn the cooking skill this week at least. I think that'd be good to use some. I've got a couple of raw meats in there now. Okay, so that's used the node. Oh, we haven't used the node. That was not the node. No, we haven't done the logging. That was the rabbit. Let's do the logging. See if we get any luck with our logging. You log again. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You log. Right, where's our U logs? In here. There's a U log. We have not been lucky with the logging. We were lucky with the rabbit. Okay, so that's that. And we move again. 1, 4, 5. Okay. And that's 2, so that's 6, 7, 8. And then we roll 5. Rabbits again. We're finding lots and lots of rabbits. We rolled all the 5s and 6s. Capture another raw meat. Okay, yeah, might be worth doing some cooking. Otherwise, our whole inventory is going to be crammed. We can't eat raw meat. Hopefully, that's obvious. And so we will have to cook it. And it only sells for 1 gold, so it's a bit pointless, like the U logs, really. So we move 1, 4, 4. Okay, almost out of the woods. There's 1, 4, 4. So 8, 9, 10. Still roll. We've got 1 more roll after this. There's an 8. Unbelievable. And it's another bear attack. 2 bears. We have not been lucky. Is that all the bear? So we do it again. So there's our bear. We shuffle up his cards, or its cards. We will try to sneak past it first. Let's roll. If we get, maybe we get lucky and get a 5 or a 6. 6. We did get lucky. No way. Fantastic. We don't have to set that up. We can just go. We have. That's why sneaking is useful at the beginning, right there. Okay, that's a D8. So 1 more. So 10, 11, 12, and now we're out of the woods. Well, almost out of the woods. 7. A boar has decided to attack us just as we were leaving. So let's get the boar. So it's the same as the bear in terms of mechanics, really. We have to find its. There's its card. I'll show you what the boar looks like. It's got a sneak of 4, so it's less than the bear. So maybe we can sneak past it. It's got 25 health. We could take on a boar. I don't think we really need anything that it's got. Do we want more raw meat or 1 boar hide? You need the boar hide to upgrade your armor, my armor. But then the question is, how much money do you want to spend on upgrading if you're going to buy bear armor next anyway? So that's something to think about. Right, 4, 5, 6, 3. That's not good. Right, so we did not sneak past it. We did shuffle it, so we reveal its card. It's doing a bite for 4, so fingers crossed we draw ourselves a nice shield for that, or 2 parries. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for our starting hand. We do get a parry, and a miss and a stab and a miss. Oh, that's not good for us. We'll use the parry. We can't use 2 misses again and a stab. So we use the parry. So it's going to do 2 damage to us anyway. Then we run away. So we'll put those back. We'll take 2 damage. So that will take us down to 29. That's okay. We're not expecting to get into other encounters really. Okay, we're out of the woods, we don't need that anymore. That boar caught us right on the edge and just attacked us right at the end there, annoyingly. Right, let's put that back, and we will put the rabbits back. Okay. Right, we're making our way to the farm. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we move 1/2 hour because we did that already. So that's 7 hours left in a day. Still plenty of time. Let's try to get to the farm, shall we? We'll get rid of the login cards, don't need those. So we want card 73. How are we doing on time? Yeah, we need to stop soon, we will do. 73, let's just get that. Let's just get to the farm. Have a little chat with Tam. 72. Yeah, 71. There's the farm, yeah. Okay, so 12, 1, 2 steps. Another 1/2 hour. Okay, Tam. Let's find Tam. We have confronted the witch, Sheolith. What is Tam going to have to say about that? Or what are we even going to tell Tam? So we take the deck, K5. Yeah, he's got K5. So K5 is what we're telling him. So he says, nothing there. You must have been placed under her spell. Not for nothing, it's that witch is doing this. Now, we know more than we did, thanks to you, friend. So tonight, all you need to do is wait near those woods and keep your eye out for floating sheep. You can track it better now you know what's going on. Then you can catch her red-handed. At night, move to map card 100, then take K6. So we told her nothing's there. In terms of there are no sheep there, maybe that could be clarified. Just say, she says there are no sheep instead of just nothing there. But we tell him, yeah, we didn't see any sheep, and he says that's ridiculous. So he wants us to stake out a night again. So we've got two options for this evening. Either we meet up with Owen and see what he has going on in his quest, or we go to Tam. So we can choose which one of those to do. Potentially we might have time after that bit of the quest to still be at night and be able to go and do the other one. So maybe we can do both. But that's it. We're going to end for now, and I'll just pack up everything. I'll show you how packing up works. I've said before we need a node saving system so we know which ones have been used, which I haven't done. But we'll have to get to that at some point. I'm thinking of just writing down the numbers for all the map cards that have nodes, and then we could just have a system like our other trackers where we put a pin into the nodes that we've used, and then we remove the pin if that node is free. So we've got a whole long line here, so 136 all the way along to 148. So we'll take those. So setting up the game, as you saw, is very quick. You just take the map cards you're currently on, and then you just head off from there, and you can have a look at all the quests you've got going on to remind yourself of what to do next. Packing up takes a bit longer depending on how much travelling you've done, but I still don't think it takes too long. But again, that's going to be dependent on your own personal taste for that, really, and patience for it, I suppose, as well. So we're 71, we're on 72. Okay, that's that one. All the rest are over 100, so let's take these ones. 105. Let's do that first. To 108, yeah. Then we've got 136. Let's get over to 36. 35, 36, yep. Up to 50, and then we're over 150 then next. So over 154, 157. And 196. I think that's going to be right at the end, yeah. Okay, there we go. So I don't think it takes too long to do that. There we go. So there we go. Another day done. We've still got our quests all here, all kept. We'll put the map card we're on and the amount of steps in there to keep it safe. And we've got our chits on Sarah here, so tomorrow we know we've got an apple pie that's getting made. Again, that's something you could write in a journal or something. You probably want to keep track of things as well to come back to the right people for part of quests if you want to do that as well. Okay, well I think that's it then. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow, Monday to Thursday, 7 PM UK time every week for the next few months. So it'd be great to see anyone there and try to get some feedback from people. So thanks very much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.